Have you ever wondered why the tension in the West Philippine Sea is getting worse instead of getting calm? This vast expanse of ocean, also known as the South China Sea, is more than just a body of water. It's a hub of economic activity, a conduit for about a third of global shipping. It's a treasure trove of natural resources, brimming with rich fishing grounds and potential energy reserves. And it's a strategic military point, its waters and islands coveted for their tactical advantage. But the West Philippine Sea is also a stage where a high-stakes drama is unfolding. A drama involving nations, their ambitions and their fears. A drama that's escalating, intensifying, and shows no signs of abating. Who are the main players in this conflict? What are their interests? Why is the tension mounting instead of subsiding? And what could it mean for the rest of the world if this tension erupts into a full-blown conflict? Just off the western coast of the Philippines, this sea is surrounded by several powerful nations: China, Vietnam, Taiwan, Malaysia, Brunei, and of course the Philippines, each with their own claims, their own stakes, their own interpretations of international law, each with their own narrative of history, their own vision for the future. And amidst the overlapping claims and the rising tension, the rest of the world watches with bated breath. Because the implications of this conflict stretch far beyond the borders of the West Philippine Sea. It could affect global trade routes, international relations, and the balance of power on the world stage. So what's fueling this tension? What's at the heart of this dispute? Is it a fight for resources, for strategic control, or for national pride? Or is it a combination of all these factors intertwined in a complex web of geopolitics? Stay tuned to uncover the elements fueling this international dispute. Together we'll delve into the main players, the stakes, the history, and the potential global impact of this escalating conflict in the West Philippine Sea. Because the more we understand, the better equipped we are to navigate the choppy waters of our world. So subscribe for more amazing contents. Keep wondering. So who are the main players in this brewing storm? The tension in the West Philippine Sea involves a myriad of nations, but the key players are China, the Philippines, and other Southeast Asian nations. Let's dive a little deeper. First up, we have China. Now, China is a global powerhouse, and it's been asserting its dominance in the region for quite some time. They claim most of the sea based on historical assertions. This sea is not just any body of water, it's a treasure trove of natural resources, including oil and gas reserves. China's claim is expansive, encompassing almost all of the sea, a claim that is contested by many. Then we have the Philippines, a smaller nation but with much at stake. The West Philippine Sea is part of their exclusive economic zone as defined by the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea. This means the Philippines has special rights over the exploration and use of marine resources. But China's assertive actions are causing ripples in these waters. Next, we have the other Southeast Asian nations: Vietnam, Malaysia, Brunei, and Taiwan, all of whom have their own claims in the sea. These nations, along with the Philippines, are all part of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations, a political and economic organization aimed at promoting regional stability. And then there's the United States. While they don't have a direct claim, they have a vested interest in maintaining freedom of navigation in these waters, a crucial international trade route. The US supports the international law and the rights of the smaller nations involved. Speaking of international laws, they are a critical piece of the puzzle. The International Tribunal for the Law of the Sea plays a pivotal role in mediating these disputes. However, their rulings are often subject to interpretation, and enforcement is a challenge. With these powerful nations involved, can we foresee the consequences? The stakes are high, and the tension is palpable. But understanding the main players is the first step in grasping the complexity of the situation. It's not just about territorial claims, is it? Now that's a question with an answer that's not as simple as you might think. Let's delve into what's at stake here, beyond the surface. The West Philippine Sea is more than just a body of water. It's a treasure trove teeming with rich resources that hold immense value. Picture a vault filled to the brim with untapped oil and gas reserves. Imagine a sprawling supermarket of diverse marine life, a rich fishing ground that feeds millions, if not billions. But it's not just about what's beneath the waves. Above, it's a crucial global trade route, a pulsating artery of the world economy. Every year, trillions of dollars worth of goods sail across these waters, making it a lifeblood for nations near and far. Then there's the strategic military importance. The West Philippine Sea, with its geographical location, is like a chessboard where nations can position their pieces, enhancing their influence and power in the region. This could mean everything from securing trade routes to projecting military might. So why are these nations so adamant about their claims? Well, it's like a high-stakes game of poker. Everyone wants to have the strongest hand. The control of these waters means control over a significant wealth of resources and strategic advantages. It's about securing their own interests, their economies, their people, and their place in the global power structure. But this game isn't without its risks. With so much on the line, the tension is palpable. Each move, each claim, each counterclaim ratchets up the tension a notch higher. And as the stakes get higher, so does the potential for conflict. But how did we reach this point of tension? That's a story that takes us back in time, a tale of history and politics, ambition and power. But that's a story for the next chapter. Every conflict has a history, doesn't it? Let's delve into the past to understand the present. The West Philippine Sea, a body of water rich in natural resources and strategic significance, has been a bone of contention for centuries. But when did the tension start to escalate? The roots of the current dispute can be traced back to the aftermath of World War II, when the Republic of China claimed sovereignty over most of the South China Sea, including the Spratly Islands, Paracel Islands, and other surrounding waters. This claim was based on historical maps dating back to the Yuan dynasty in the 14th century. Fast forward to the 20th century, when the United Nations Convention on the Law of the Sea, or UNCLOS, was introduced in the 1980s. It established the concept of exclusive economic zones, or EEZs, extending 200 nautical miles from a country's coast. Suddenly, overlapping claims arose from several nations, including the Philippines, Vietnam, Malaysia, Brunei, and of course, China. In the year 2009, China submitted a map to the United Nations featuring the infamous 9-dash line, which claimed sovereignty over almost the entire South China Sea. This move was met with international backlash and numerous counterclaims. The tension reached a tipping point in the year 2016, when the Permanent Court of Arbitration in The Hague ruled in favor of the Philippines, dismissing China's extensive claims. However, China rejected the ruling, and the tension has been simmering ever since. This historical journey reveals how a centuries-old dispute has escalated into a potential flashpoint for global conflict. The key question now is, what happens if this tension continues to rise? The answer to that, my friends, lies in understanding the potential global impact of this dispute, which we will explore in the next chapter. Stay tuned. What could be the ripple effects of this dispute to the rest of the world, you might ask? Well, the West Philippine Sea, also known as the South China Sea, is not just a stretch of water. It's a throbbing artery of global trade, with trillions of dollars worth of goods passing through its waters every year. If the tension continues to escalate, the impact on global trade could be significant. Imagine a world where the price of everything from your morning coffee to your latest gadget is skyrocketing because shipping costs have increased. A world where economies are teetering on the brink of collapse because trade routes are disrupted. Scary, isn't it? But the implications go beyond trade. The West Philippine Sea is also a strategic military hub. An increased military presence in the area could escalate tensions and lead to a potential conflict, putting global security at stake. This isn't a game of chess where you can simply hit the reset button. It's real life, with real consequences. Imagine a world where the evening news is filled with reports of military standoffs and conflicts in the West Philippine Sea. A world where the threat of war looms large. It's a chilling thought, isn't it? Yet, there's hope. The power of peaceful resolution cannot be underestimated. Dialogue, negotiation, and diplomacy can diffuse tension and pave the way for a peaceful, prosperous future. It's a future where the West Philippine Sea is a symbol of cooperation, not conflict. A future where the waters are calm and the world is at peace. Isn't that a future worth striving for? So, When we talk about the West Philippine Sea dispute, we're not just talking about a regional issue. We're talking about a global concern that has the potential to affect each and every one of us. It's a concern that needs our attention, our understanding, and our action. After all, we're all in this together, aren't we? The West Philippine Sea dispute is not just a regional issue, but a global concern that needs our attention. So, we've navigated through the rough waters of the West Philippine Sea dispute. We have delved into the rising tensions, identified the main players, examined the stakes at hand, and traced back the history. We've also explored the potential global impact and how it could touch every corner of our lives. It's clear this issue is not just a ripple in a distant sea, but a wave that could shake the world. Subscribe for more amazing content. Keep wondering. Don't miss out on future explorations and discoveries. Hit subscribe and ring the bell to stay updated with our new content. Your journey of wonder continues with every video. Stay connected and engaged on social media. Continue the conversation, follow us. Thank you for being a part of the Have You Ever Wondered community. Keep wondering, keep discovering. Until next time.